Happy New Year, everyone. I'm C.L. Connolly. I am the horror author of, right now, 9 published novels. I will have number 10 published by March. And I wanted to go over what I've got so far that I will be doing in 2024. So I'm hoping to keep my schedule the exact way that I have it, because I have set it up specifically to where I'm busy basically every month. And then there's certain months where I'll take 1 week off. And I wanted to just kind of go over everything that I have going on for just this year. So just for 2024. But before I do that, I'm going to show off my... So I got this for my son and my daughter-in-law for Christmas. Says, no, you hang up. I mean, of course. And then they also got me this, which I will be putting on the door to my office because that's what I'm doing in here. Just kidding. And then my parents got me this. And I think it's amazing. I'm actually going to put it right here on the window because that's just funny. And I don't know if that would work outside because I don't know about the weathering and stuff like that. So I figure that I'll just put it right here in my window and have it hanging up there. I can see the stuff that's already hanging in my window anyway, but I just put that there to get it out of the way. But I do need to take some of that stuff down. So anyway, those are just a few things that I got for Christmas. I was going to do a whole video, but read my community post for that. So anyway, here in January, I will be doing the beta reader edits for Mutiny of Disciples. Now, the rest of these I will not be showing you because they are all labeled as something else. So some of them are book titles that I don't want to tell yet, but I will be doing the beta reader edits, in January for Mutiny of Disciples. If I can get it to focus on that, maybe. That is such ugly handwriting. I am so sorry. I was writing it very quickly. So anyway, so that is what I'm doing in January. And then in February with the purple Post-its, that is a new book that I'll be writing. So it's the green ones are beta reader edits. The purple ones are new books that I will be writing, and the blue ones are books that still need my edit. So it is, basically just the entire process that I have. And then, of course, the blue ones I do keep because I will have to go over them again before they go through the beta readers. And then, of course, I'll keep that after the beta readers because I'll have one more edit after it goes to my editor. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so these are everything that I have set to go through this year. There is a second green one in there, but the second green one, oh no, there's 3. Ooh, there's 3 green ones in here. Okay, so the second green one is, of course, the disbanding of disciples. That's the beta reader edits for disbanding of disciples because that one will be published by June. And then Mutiny of Disciples, I want to have it published by February, like early February, March at the latest. That's just, I feel like I can't guarantee when it's going to be published because I don't know how many times I'm going to have to edit it and go over it. But that's how I'm hoping for February, but it might be, March. Either way, whatever. So I do have disbanding of disciples that I'll be going over. And then also the third one is Roadkill Cafe. Now, Roadkill Cafe, I did write in 2022. So that is one that has been talked about on TikTok and stuff like that. And I believe I posted one video here about it. So Roadkill Cafe, I'll be doing the beta reader edits for, but it's not going to be published until 2025 next year. So there's that. Everything else is just being written and edited in order for me to stay on track. I do have a list of a lot of books, like my entire list. Let me look. So I gotta figure out, there it is. So my entire list of books that I have for all the ideas that I want to write are showing that I have enough to publish up to 2038. And that is with having 2030 publishing one book a month all throughout the entire year. So 2024, this is the last year that I'll be publishing multiple books a year until 2030. And then 2030 will have one book a month. That's my holiday collection. So that's the reason why my, writing and publishing is exactly the way that it is. But yeah, and then after 2030, I've got one book a year up to 2038. So that's a lot going on. Kind of excited about that. I'm hoping for the best on that anyway. But so far, this is it. I've got 2 books that are going to be published. Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that I'll be writing. And so let's see, then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 books that I'll just be doing my round of edits on before they go to the beta readers. Good golly. So anyway, yeah, I've got 2 books that are going to be published. I do have one that I'll be doing the beta reader edits on, but it's just going to be sitting so that I can get everything on that one done, ready to go. So as soon as I'm ready to, hit that publish, like I could publish 3 this year if I wanted to, but I'm pushing it specifically because of 2030. So that's how that's going to work out. And it's fine. It's fine. It's just how I was, going to set it up anyway, because I wanted to make sure that I had a book to publish in 2025 with all the other crap that I've got going on. And I don't want to overwhelm my beta readers with too much, but they do have where at least once a quarter this year, they will be receiving a book. So there is 4 quarters in a year, and they will get 4 different books to go over and send that stuff back to me. But I don't have to immediately go into and start dealing with it so it can get published. I have it to where it sits aside. So when I go to it, like I already have the beta reader edits back from a couple of my beta readers now. And then by Saturday of this week, I should be getting the rest of the beta reader edits back so I can start on Mutiny of Disciples on Monday. So that's how that works. So next Monday on, I believe it is the 8th. Ooh, let me see. Ooh, I am too far here. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So next Monday is the 8th. So on the 8th, I should be starting the beta reader edits for Mutiny of Disciples. And I sent that to them in November, I believe, or October. It may have been October. No, 3 months. So that would be November, the beginning of November. It's because one of my beta readers, that's basically all she does. So she gets it early whenever I'm ready and done with it. Sometimes I give it to her early, but she always gets it to me really early back. So that's fine. But so they had it for November, December, and January. It had to be October. Okay, forget it. Who cares about the timeline? Whatever. They've had it for 3 months. And that is my plan for everything else. They get 3 months throughout the year to have the entire book. So in March, the beta readers will be getting the next book, Disbanding of Disciples, to go over and then have it come back to me, and I'll be able to get it published hopefully by June, because they'll have until May to get it back to me. But anyway, so that is the plan. And I like to have a break from the books, specifically so whenever I go back to it, it's easier to go, oh my God, I know how to make this so much better. And that's exactly how that works. So like if I were to read, say, Friendly Misfortunes, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I know how I can make this better. So that's the reason why I don't want to read that one. But it's because I love that book. But anyway, so it helps with that. It makes it easier when you push it to the side and then you come back to it and you're like, oh, yes, I know exactly what to do. Especially when you're having issues like, I wrote 5 books at the end of 2023. And, from August to December, I wrote 5 books. Now those 5 books, There were two, I believe, that ended up with just big red text at the end of it that basically said, okay, this needs to happen. And number one, it was to keep me on schedule, because sometimes I have trouble focusing. Like, you can keep seeing me look out the window because something flies by, or, a squirrel runs by. So sometimes I have trouble focusing. I've had to close this window. There are the blinds. I've had to close the blinds several times to keep me from looking out the window. Sometimes you just have those days where you can't focus. And it's like, I know where the story is going, but sometimes I can't think of exactly what to do with it. And it's like, you know what? I know I'm going to come back to this. And there are parts in each one of the chapters where I'm like, okay, I know where I want this to go. It's just, I don't want to spend any more time on this because I want to get it finished. So I just put big red text. And that just means that it's not part of the story, but it needs to be added. And that helps me, because when I go back through it and do my my edits and stuff like that, I can be like, oh, this is amazing, blah, 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 So it gets me where I'm able to write a full book. My edits will go by a lot faster. And I tried this once before, but I didn't have as many books. Like, I wasn't, going through, like, I wrote my cult series that I'm publishing right now. So I wrote the cult series all at once. So one book right after the other. I wrote it in order. And then I went and did Killer Suburbia. And I made sure that when I edited Killer Suburbia and it went to my beta readers, I went back over my cult series at the exact same time. So while Killer Suburbia was with my beta readers, that way I could go over my cult series and I could have it and kind of look over it. And then I'd be able to do another round of edits one at a time as they're being published, before it goes to my beta readers, type of thing. So that was one of the things that I wanted to do, especially with a series. With a series, it's hard to do a series when you write one book and then years later you decide to write book two. So I wanted to do everything all at once. And I was able to get a lot more done during the day. It seemed like, because I was only writing one chapter a day, I was working for maybe 3 hours, which gave me more time to do other things around the house and play with the dogs. And as a matter of fact, I had started doing this training thing with my dogs. They're pretty well behaved, but sometimes they just get a little too rowdy. So I was trying to basically train them to where if someone comes to the door, I can actually stop them right where they are, open the door, and they don't go running out to go see who's here. So thank God I got that, but I was able to do all that. So it's kind of nice. So, I mean, every once in a while they do get crazy and they just can't focus. So it is a lot harder, but either way, like if I have the front door open, but the screen door is closed and someone walks in through the screen door, no, they're just going to get excited and, everything else. But if someone knocks on the door, I'm able to stop them before it happens. Like, hey, wait. And then I can open the door. So gave me time to train the dogs to be a little bit more well-behaved when someone comes to the door. Other than that, I got like this. Okay, so I still have 3 more boxes in that extra room. So my husband and I have been working on getting the boxes out of that extra room. I have 3 boxes sitting here and I have 3 more boxes in that other room. So this will be something that I'll be working on as well. And if I only work for, 1 to 3 hours, I have time to do this, to go through these boxes. And I've opened some of them up and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in here I just need to throw away. So it gives me a little bit more time to do a few more things. Plus, not only that, but this cabinet that's right behind me, you can see just a little bit right there. So this cabinet behind me actually has a lot of stuff piled up in the front of it, because if it gets on my desk and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, I just pick it up and I move it and I put it over there and I don't really put it in a place. So that is a big problem. But anyway, so yep, this is what I'm working on this year. It doesn't look like a whole lot because they're just little Post-its, but when you think about how much time and effort it takes to actually write a book, it is a whole lot, because it's not just writing a book, it's also editing a book. And I'm not even editing the same books that I'm writing, if that makes sense. Like the books that I'm editing this year are actually books that I just finished writing last year at the end, between August and December. So those are the books that I will be doing my edits on before it goes to the beta readers. Oh, and of course, Roadkill Cafe. And that one I wrote in 2022. So That way, anything that I write in 2024, it won't be edited until 2025 because, so anyway, that's the fun part. That's the fun part. I got time. But anyway, that's all I'm working on for 2024. I'm hoping to also be a little bit more on social media, like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So I have a few posts that I've got set up to where I'll be posting constantly on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to try to post something different on each one of them, specifically because there are people that I follow on both Facebook and Instagram, and I see the same posts on both. And I always like, why am I following them on both social medias, And I understand that sometimes they have both because, some people follow them on Facebook, but not on Instagram. And some people follow them on Instagram and not on Facebook. I have both. I don't know. Anyhow, that's all that I have today. So I'm so excited for 2024. I am ready for this new year. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I hope everyone has a great new year. And let's be excited for 2024 to be a wonderful year. And that's it. Okay, bye.